Hi everyone, how are you all doing? Before we start, I just want to remind you all that there is this November special happening here with the astrology reading. As of now, we are already in the pre-shadow energy of Mars and Mercury retrograde that we will be having very soon. So you do want to know where are they happening in your natal chart. And on top of that, we also have Venus retrograde. Yes, it's happening. All three of our personal planets are going retrograde one after another, overlapping with their different energy, and they will be happening for all of us in the next 6-7 months. So you want to know where are they happening in your chart, what can you expect, any special date you need to pay attention to. Because of that, I created a November astrology special reading that we will address to all three retrograde in your own natal chart, and it will be done over Zoom, so wherever you are you can join us, and it's being offered in a very special energy exchange cost. So if you're interested, please check it out. I've posted a detailed video all about it. I'll link it in the description box below, so check it out. All the informations are there, and if you have any further question or if you want to schedule a reading with me in this month, or other readings, feel free to email me. My email is also in the description box. That is where you'll find out all the information, and I hope to connect with you. So back to this video. This video is going to talk about this upcoming week astrology forecast, and we'll end the video with a collective message from the cards. So this video is going to talk about November 11/11/11 to November 17 of 2024. This week is very packed with lots of different things happening. We also have a full moon in Taurus that is happening, and the aspect kind of relates, so I'm gonna put them all together in this video for all of us. So let's dive right in. On the 11th or November 12th, depending where you are in the world, Venus is going to leave Sagittarius and ingress into the sign of Capricorn. It's happening on 11/11, 10:25 a.m. Pacific time, or November 12th, 2:25 a.m. Hong Kong time. So adjust the time according to where you are in the world. There's definitely a vibe shift from Venus in Sagittarius to Venus in Capricorn. Not good or bad, but it's just very different energy, because Venus in Sagittarius loves freedom. It's fun, playful, it's freedom loving, it doesn't take life too seriously. It loves to talk about philosophy, the big picture, travel and everything, and it's the life of the party is the center of attention sometimes, and it's funny. They love to play jokes and stuff like that. But Venus in Capricorn, reel it back in. It's time to get serious. It's time to talk business. So Venus put the glasses on, and it's time to get serious when it's in Capricorn. Venus in Capricorn is an earth sign. It's ruled by Saturn. So Venus in Capricorn seek longevity, stability, and commitment in all the Venusian things in our life, right? Let's say if you are in the dating world, if you are dating, mingling, during Venus in Capricorn, you might want to lock somebody down, right? Or you might be condensing your list, right? You're deciding who has the potential to move to the next level with you. Who do you truly vibe with, or who truly align with you and what you want? And you might be making that decision to go exclusive, depending on which stage of relationship you're in. It might be a time where relationships are being talked about and move to the next level and get more serious, and so on and so forth. And also, if there's any problem existing in a relationship, you will address it, you will talk about it to see if this is something that will be worth investing your time, or if the commitment is still valid, or is it time to realize that it is time for us to part ways because it's just not working, right? So it can go either way, but it's time to have that talk or have that think to see where you want to go. And again, it's not limited to romantic. It can happen in working environment, friendship, family dynamic, it's time to get serious, if you want to commit to this job or not, if you want to take this friendship to the next level. We don't often talk about it, but friendship, we also have different levels, and sometimes you want to get to know that person more. They become like your inner circle, or like real friends, or friends that you can truly have heart-to-heart conversation to, and so on and so forth. So that can be it during this Venus in Capricorn transit as well. You might also get more serious with your crafts, your profession, things that brings you joy, right? Capricorn is actually quite handy, right? It's a craftsman because it likes to build things. It wants to see things get built in the long-term situation or timeline. So this might be a time where you want to get serious as well. Maybe some of you might decide, hey, I want to sign up for this course. I want to learn that skill. I want to deepen that skill, right? Get better at it, or learn further, right? You're taking level 1. It's time to take to level 2 if you decide to be serious about it, right? This might be you switching things around, like, oh, this is just for fun. I don't want it anymore. I want to get more serious. Or this can be turning something you do on the side, that you're just doing it as a hobby, and move it into something more serious. Like, oh, can I start a business out of it? Can I quit my full-time job and turn this into a real business? This can also be a time where you look into your spending, your investment, because Venus also talks about money matters. It might be a time where you want to get serious and look at those spreadsheets and look at the receipts, like, ooh, how am I spending, earning, investing so far? Like, it's time maybe to make some changes, and so on and so forth. So that might be happening during this transit as well. And Venus will stay in Capricorn until December 7th. On November the 12th, we have Mercury in Sagittarius having a square with Saturn retrograde in Pisces. So this is the first one of the 3 Mercury-Saturn square that we're having, because Mercury is going to retrograde soon. We will have this aspect 2 more times, during retrograde and after station direct in the post-shadow period. So pay attention and see what is unfolding this week, what is happening this week, because chances are they might get a redo, readjust, or it might come back and need your attention again later on. So Venus in Sagittarius square Saturn retrograde. This can be a day where you're gonna receive a no. You will feel disappointed with the result. You might get a rejection, right? So on and so forth, because a square means tension, conflict, and Mercury in Sagittarius want to talk about it, right? Want to speak their mind, and it's confident. It's gonna speak your mind. You're gonna say what you want, and then say. Sometimes it can be a little bit TMI, or not as thoughtful, because it's just say everything, right? But Saturn is gonna be like, no, we're not doing that today. You can't do that today, okay? So it might be, some example might be, you are trying to present an idea, but you get shot down by your coworker or your boss, right? You might try to express something, but then you meet opposition, right? You might have somebody rejecting you, or say something that make you think like, oh, you're wrong, or maybe it's not what it is, right? And it is easy to get into argument or disagreement. So be mindful with your conversation, with what you're trying to express or articulate today, right? We're also in pre-shadow energy already, so you do want to be mindful with what you're trying to say, express, write, or the email you send, communication you do, right? Things might not go as planned it, and it might cause disappointment and rejection. Like I said, words might get you into trouble, right? Words might get you into conflicts, argument, and so on and so forth. So be mindful. And both Sagittarius and Pisces are Jupiter rule sign. So today, the conflict, the disagreement, whatever icky thing that is happening might stem from Jupiter stuff. Since they're both ruled by Jupiter, it can be related to some kind of belief, religion. It might be related to some kind of philosophy, way of thinking, spirituality. So that is what the disagreement or argument might stem from as well. So take a look and see what is happening and be a little bit extra mindful with the way you communicate today as well. On Friday the 15th, it's a big day. So first of all, we have one thing that is happening. Saturn is going to station direct 6:20 a.m. Pacific time or 10:20 p.m. Hong Kong time. Adjust the time according to where you are in the world. Saturn is going to station at 12 degrees 41 minutes in Pisces, right? So Saturn was retrograding for the past 4.5 months since end of June 29 or 30th, depending where you are in the world, and Saturn stationed direct at 19 degrees 25 minutes. So it retrograde back to 12, now it's stationary. In the next few months, Saturn will trace back and travel back the degree points where it was retrograde. So the station is also usually more potent, is where we can feel the most. So Saturn in Pisces related to a lot of water damage issues. My home did get water damage during this retrograde. I hope now that it's stationed direct in the next week or so, things might get picked up and it can be fixed. But anyway, that is my Saturn story. Everyone might be a little bit different depending where Saturn is in your natal chart, right? But Saturn in Pisces can relate it to water issues, water damage. We often see water relating disasters, unfortunately, or news during those stations. So watch out. This week the news is gonna be popping everywhere, okay, because we do have a lot happening. So this is one of it. And Saturn is the planet that talks about restriction, boundaries, and is here to help us learn something. So retrograde doesn't mean bad. Retrograde means that we need to slow down, look at something. Maybe during the past 4 or 5 months, you have been readdressing something that needs to be readdressed in your life, right? Something might need to be reevaluate, rework, redo, restart. And maybe the past few months you're trying to see what that is and what you have to do. And now that it's stationed direct, it's time to implement those changes or shifts that you want to it as well. And for some, maybe during Saturn retrograde, you felt restricted, you felt limited. Something is not moving as fast as you want. You feel like something is stopping you. There's a force pulling you back. You're not able to, I don't know, right? It depends, again, what human story you're moving through and where is it in your chart. But you might feel like you're meeting roadblocks everywhere. Things are not going smoothly and you're not able to move forward with what is it that you want to do. Now that Saturn's station direct, perhaps you know how to move forward now. Maybe the blocks will be moved away, that force will be lifted, and you will feel more smooth as well. So that might happen for some of us as well. So it has to depend on, again, your natal chart. On the same day, a few hours later, we have our Taurus full moon. So yes, this Taurus full moon is happening as Saturn station, so it's a big one. It's a big one, okay? So this Taurus full moon is happening November 15, 1:28 p.m. Pacific time, or November 16, 5:28 a.m. Hong Kong time for earlier time zone. So adjust the time according to where you are in the world. The sun will be at 24 degrees in Scorpio, and the moon will be at 24 degrees in Taurus, right? That is a full moon. So it's happening during Scorpio season. That is the axis that we're working with, the energy that we're working with. Moon is exalted in Taurus. So actually moon loves to be in Taurus. It is a good sign. However, the aspect that is happening during this full moon is making it less comfortable, okay? First of all, the full moon is conjuncting Uranus in Taurus. So Uranus is that planet that brings in that lighting, right? That sudden changes, plot twists, sudden news and sudden event, twist and turn that just happen out of the nowhere, right? It can be that light bulb moment, that revelation, that aha moment that you get, whether from outside or internally. It's that electric lighting moment. It does relate to electricity. So this is a wild card full moon. It's not what Taurus want. It's opposite. Taurus want nothing to change. Taurus just want to have everything happen as planned. We don't want no trouble. We don't want no changes. I am not budging. Okay. But Uranus is like, sorry, not happening. So this full moon might have that plot twist or sudden energy that just kind of, what is this happening? Like the full moon might illuminate something for you to see, and you're like, what the, you know? So be prepared, right? Space out your time, I would say, during this weekend, and just simply be the observer and surrender and make way for these things to be illuminated for you. Then you can decide what to do about it, right? So first of all is this. So you do want to see where Taurus is in your house. Also a Scorpio, because Scorpio is the opposite where the sun is, right? So things in that house, topic related to that house, might have some sudden realization, or like something might just happen and like, oh my God, what, you know, that kind of feeling. The energy of this full moon, then we have to talk about the axis between Scorpio and Taurus, right? Their energy is mostly about resources, right? Life and death, right? Taurus is that sign, that energy that talks about, you know, the springtime where things are growing, where you can see beautiful flowers blooming. Scorpio is the sign that talks about death, when we're in the fall, everything is dying. But then all this remind us that change is the only constant in life, right? Things will not be permanent. Impermanent is the only thing we get in life. Impermanent and changes are the only constant in life, and we have to accept that and let it happen in our life, right? It also talks about the presence and the unknown, right? It talks about the beautiful flowers, but also talks about that richness, the root system in the soil that we don't pay attention, but that is what support what goes on above to give us life. So they are all interconnected, and this is that powerful axis that talks about this energy, right? So it's all about trusting and letting it unfold. Sometimes we can see, sometimes we cannot see, but this is about that trust into the unknown, to allow it to continue to unfold and stay in the present with all of these, right? So this is that full moon energy. Something might be illuminate to tell us about this, or something in life will bring up those topics as well, right? We also want to see again which houses our Taurus and Scorpio is in our natal chart, and we might get some more information of what this full moon might mean for you. Another aspect that we want to talk about is the ruler. The ruler of this full moon is the ruler of Taurus, which is Venus. And Venus, like I said in the beginning of the video, is now in Capricorn. Oh my goodness. So during this full moon, Venus in Capricorn is making a square with the nodes of fate. North node in Aries and South node in Libra. Whenever we have aspect with the nodes, it brings in that fated events flavor, that eclipse flavor. So this full moon might feel like an eclipse for some of us, right? Especially if you have any planets or point close to where is it happening, or have an aspect with it, you will definitely feel it more, and it might feel like an eclipse. And with the add-on with Uranus, oh, it's gonna be big. I'm not trying to create fear, but this is how it is. Not all of us will feel it, but some of us will definitely feel it. This full moon might bring in that lightning moment or fated events, right, for you to see. But like I said, everything happened for a reason, and everything happened for our highest good, even though it doesn't feel like just at that moment. But eventually it is happening because it wants us to learn something, to move to something new, or the next chapter, or to help us to grow and evolve, right? So it's Venus, is squaring nodes of fate, so it's relationship topics. So during this full moon, maybe something will illuminate in a relationship for us to see so that we know what to do about it, right? And yes, doesn't mean it's always sunshine and rainbow, right? It can be illuminating something for you to see so that you're like, this is the person who I want to be with. Yes, it's working. Let's move on. But this is also like, you know what? Wow, this person is not who they say they are. And no, this is not what I want, right? Remember, we also do have that square between Mercury and Saturn. So I feel like this week, relationships, emotions, and feelings are kind of like the main topics, right? It can also be a friendship, a family dynamic, right? It can be work situation that, oh my god, this person pissed me off, doesn't do anything, gonna fire their ass, right? And then the other person, whoa, your full moon moment will be you getting fired, and then you're angry, don't know what happened. Later realize what you need to do in order to not get fired in the next job, right? So these are just some of the example, but see what applies. So the overall advice of this full moon is that yes, there's this surprise element, right? Things might reveal, secret might come out, revelation, aha moment might happen. So the best we can do is make way for them to come. Surrender is not the easiest things to do, but be the observer of what needs your attention, of what needs to be known, what needs to be seen from below to come up above, right? Let this full moon shine on things that needs our attention, that might give us some kind of aha moment or revelation, so that we know what kind of action or decision we need to do or make for our highest good. So I'm sending you all a lot of full moon blessings, and just take it easy. Try not to stress about it. Space out your schedule if you can, and make time for rest, because full moon sometimes can be a lot, can be draining. And lastly, the thing I want to say is that during this full moon, we have the sun opposing, right? The sun is in Scorpio, remember, it's opposing that moon and Uranus, and it's going to continue to build the next day, because the opposition will be exact the next day. So this full moon can feel like a whole weekend event for all of us, or some of us particularly, right? So, but in general, sun opposed Uranus can also be that electric moment, right? Because the sun is illuminating the Uranian changes, plot twist for us to see. So for some, it can be like a download, right? Like a aha moment revelation, right? Especially if you have anything in Scorpio, with the sun in Scorpio, right? It's that mystic, that intuitive, that you just know. So today, you might just know something and just trust yourself, right? This can also be a moment of liberation. Uranus talks about liberating yourself from something, breaking free of something, right? It can be breaking free from a belief system, limiting beliefs, a way of thinking, or patterns, or so on and so forth, right? This can be an aspect where you're liberated and you're gonna take a risk, right? And of course, please be mindful, because we do have a lot of pre-shadow energy happening. So before you take that action, take that leap, just make sure you think it through, right? And also remember, this Sun-Uranus opposition, they're happening in Scorpio and Taurus. They're both fixed sign. Fixed sign do not want change, especially Taurus. Sorry, no shade on Taurus, but hey, it's a good thing to be stubborn about what you want and be fixed. But sometimes, ooh, you don't want to change. And fixed signs in general, okay, I'm speaking for myself. I also have fixed sign. I'm a Scorpio sun, so I can talk about it. We don't want to change. Sometimes we just want to stick with it and just not move. But the sun opposed Uranus is like kind of pushing us to the edge and pulling us from that comfort zone. It's like, you need to change. Have to change. You cannot, okay? You cannot not budge anymore. So yeah, this might feel like that for some of you, especially if you have fixed energy. You might feel that need. Maybe that full moon reveals something. You're like, ooh, I cannot ignore it anymore. I have to do something about it. So this weekend might feel like that. So again, like I said, be mindful, give yourself grace and time to think it through. Now let's take a look at the card. Look at it. From the tarot cards, we have death, Hello, Scorpio season and water, right? Ace of Cups. We're in Scorpio season, of course. Come on, right? And we have that Queen of Wands. Okay, so definitely this can be a very big week for some because it's the full moon, the aspect is really illuminating something for you to see. And again, like I said, it might not be easy, and for some it can be extremely hard, right? You don't want to look at some truth because you know it hurts, it will hurt, but then you cannot avoid it anymore. You have to look at it because you have to do something about it. For some, yes, definitely can be relationship, right? Sometimes we want to live in when the relationship, sometimes we're in a relationship we know that is not healthy or not the best for us, but we continue to stay because we cannot let go of that person, or we want to be the savior and think that if we pour in more love and passion, we can make it work, we can make them change. But no, maybe perhaps this full moon is the last straw for you to realize that you can no longer stay in something that you can see a dead end already. It's time to leave. It's time to pour back that cup of love into yourself and do what's best for you, right? It is something that you have been ignoring, or maybe something you don't want to see, or something, or maybe for some you don't know, but finally, wow, this full moon really allow you to see the truth, right? And now you're like, okay, I cannot unsee it, I have to go, right? So this can be that. So be mindful and see what that might mean for you, and that scenario, that energy can play out in different situations. Definitely romantic partnership, it can be a friendship, a betrayal of friendship, working situation, family dynamic, right? Can happen in any kind of relationship. But this is important to know when the universe tell you, hey, this person doesn't align with what you're passionate about, what you want to do, your values, your belief system, patterns don't align. It's time to go. It's time to align yourself with people that truly share the same values with you, that can do the same kind of work you want to do in this world or in whatever industry you're in, right? This is time to realize that situation is no longer needing your attention, your effort, your love anymore, and it's time to rework those, right? That's why we have all this retrograde happening, is allow you to see so that you can make the adjustment, the changes, the shifts that you need. Ooh, the clock is saying 33 as I'm just looking at the screen. So threes is all about expansion, right? It's all about that moving energy, building energy. It's all about, knowing what doesn't work. You want to let it go and expand and build, move your energy towards something that will eventually give you this foundation or better stability that you want in life, right? So wow, big message. From the Moonology deck, we have full moon in Aries. Cool your emotions. Yes, a lot is happening this week. A lot of emotions can be stirred up. Oh, and that is why we have another card to emphasize it. First quarter moon in Pisces honors your feelings. Honor your feelings, cool your emotion. This can be, like, full moon is always a little intense and emotional, so do take care of yourself, stay hydrated, make time to rest, space out your schedule if you can, and sit with those emotions, whatever it brings up, right? Feel them so then you can move through them. Lastly, our oracle card, the Mystic Rose. Again, there's an emphasis of that. Compassion, devotion, humility, humanity, grace. So much happened in the past week, but we all need a little bit of grace for ourselves, for people around us, no matter what angle you're looking at, what you're thinking, your point of view, we're all one in the end, right? How can we be more united so that we can move to the direction, the changes that we want, even though it might not feel this way right now, right? Ooh, all this emotion card is, when I'm holding it, just draw out so much emotions that are not mine, but I know a lot of us are feeling so many different emotions. So please take care of yourself, and if you can, take care of others. Give each other more grace. We're in a chaotic world, but We're all here for each other. Realize that and know that, right? Nobody is a one-man island. If you need help, seek help. And if I happen to be in your service, let me know. Connect with me. If you want to schedule any kind of reading, I offer astrology, tarot, akashic records reading, and consultation. I do reiki and sound healing. So if you're in need, reach out. And in the meantime, again, I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here. I love you all so much. Have a great week. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.